Good morning, Yankees universe. KOD Nation, stand up. Hey, you D-Gents. Oh, wake up and get your coffee. Welcome to this Thursday, September 8th edition of the Yankees Morning Brew. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat. If you're watching on Instagram Live, click that link in the bio. Jump on over to the YouTube or Twitch space. But we are in the building. And yes, it's my 33rd birthday. So happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Appreciate everybody who's here. But yesterday, we had a good day. The Yankees had a doubleheader. And the grace of the glory of the baseball gods, they shined on us yesterday. You know, not even just yesterday, this series. Because the Yankees have been struggling recently. We know. And when we're struggling, it's great to have our punching bag and the Minnesota Twins come to the stadium, right? This was going to be the test to see if the Yankees would truly wash. Because if the Minnesota Twins came to Yankee Stadium, right? If the Minnesota Twins came to Yankee Stadium, right, and won this series or took the doubleheader yesterday, then we could have probably said the nail was in the coffin because the Tampa Bay Rays won yesterday. Yankees won 2 games. The lead is back to 5.5 in the division. You know, it is Thursday, September 8th. We got a series coming up with the Rays this weekend. It's going to be tough. You know, I'll be at the stadium tomorrow because, you know, it is my birthday. So I'll be at the stadium tomorrow for the Derek Jeter special, right? They're doing a ceremony for Derek Jeter because of the whole pandemic. They weren't able to fully, you know, celebrate the captain being nominated to the Hall of Fame. So I'll be at the stadium. I'm be there early. I'll be there at 3. I know Keith is going to be there. I know BX Sports Bomber is going to be there. And there's a few other Yankee content creators that are going to be there that I'm going to link up with. Hopefully I get to see my guys from Cashing Out NYC around there. But just looking forward to it. Salute to my man Keith Sanders. Appreciate you, baby. You know, we're both Virgo babies, bro. Your birthday coming up too, right around the corner. Jigga Man Portito, happy birthday, bro Skisto. Appreciate you, Jigga Man. Appreciate you like always, Papa. But yeah. And then on top of it, Garrett Cole, the man that Yankee fans love to say is washed up. The man that Michael Caputo loves to say is not worth the $300 million that he got. Listen, I understand this season when it comes to Garrett Cole, it's not the best, if you want to say, right? I understand that. But Garrett Cole showed out yesterday. 6 2/3, 14 strikeouts. 14 strikeouts and 6 2/3 innings on 120 pitches. And yes, happy birthday to my fellow September 8th baby, Garrett Cole. Because Garrett Cole and I, we have the same birthday. Pretty excited about that. But let me just take this second to just talk real quick to my guys. Because there's been a lot of news going around. Yesterday there was no show, so I wasn't able to touch on it. But let me see. You guys heard what Randy Levine said? You guys heard what Randy Levine said? First, kind of sounded like he was, you know, painting the picture just in case Aaron Judge left, right? And the fans on Twitter, the fans read into the nonsense that he was trying to paint, and he was attacked. And then he came out later on and he said, oh, we're going to be competitive. We're going to be competitive. It's going to be competitive in order for us to re-sign Judge. We're going to do everything we can to be competitive fiscally and everything, blah, 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 blah. Randy Levine. I know you're not going to be watching this video, but if there's a chance that you are watching this video, Mr. Levine, just know this. If the Yankees do not sign Aaron Judge, especially when Aaron Judge is basically going to break the Yankees home run record, Roger Maris record, the American League record. He already set the record for the most home runs from a right-handed hitter in the American League. He has the most home runs in the new Yankee Stadium. Randy, if you guys don't get this done, you guys are going to have some explaining to do. Yankee fans are not going to be happy. Judge is sitting on 55. He is 6 away from tying, 7 away from breaking the record. But just like I said, Mr. Levine, if Randy Levine and Hal Steinbrenner of the New York Yankees allows Aaron Judge to walk and sign with, let's say, the San Francisco Giants, like my guy Scott Braun talked about the other episode, or the Boston Red Sox, or the New York Mets, or the Angels, if the Yankees do not re-sign Judge, Mr. Randy Levine and Hal Steinbrenner, the fans will hunt you down. I will personally go to the Hamptons, where you guys like to, race your horses and stuff. I will personally go there and I will kidnap the both of you. Yes, I said it. I said it on the internet. No, I'm all jokes aside. But the Yankees, they need to figure this out. Aaron Judge is in a unique situation. He's going to be 31 years old when he signs his contract extension. Personally, me, I've already been an advocate, sign that man for 8 years, 320, give him incentives throughout the contract, pay the man. You guys saw Gleyber Torres yesterday doing this thing, pay the man, pay him. Aaron Judge is being walked almost twice a game, 3 times a game. Pay this man, Aaron Judge. Let me salute to the chat. Carlos, salute. Hope all is well, my guy. My man James Cook. It's going to take $500 million to sign Judge. $500 million. That I'm not sure about. 450 I can see. I can see a team trying to ante up on it, like the Giants, like Scott Braun talked about with the Giants. The Giants are a team that, they're missing. They need a star. They got a lot of money coming off the books. So they have the money, especially in that market over there in San Francisco when you got the Golden State Warriors. Come on. They have the market. You got the San Francisco 49ers. You got the Golden State Warriors. They got the market over there. Aaron Judge will be the instant face of the franchise, instant face of the West Coast if he goes over there. Yankees got to do whatever they can to retain him. And guarantee, like I said, if he walks, Yankee fans, let me know how you guys feel. Let me know how you guys feel. If Aaron Judge was to walk this offseason, how would you guys feel? Especially if he breaks this home run record, right? If he breaks this home run record, he has a solid postseason. Are you guys going to be happy with the front office if they allow Aaron Judge to walk? Good morning, Eric. Hope all is well, my guy. Salute, salute, salute. Hope you're doing good, my guy. Mr. Albert Wheeler, the Wheels, is Rizzo for less out of it? Man, I told you guys, as somebody that has gotten 3 epidural shots over the past 4 months, I said, please let Anthony Rizzo rest. Please let him rest because it is a painful ordeal. Anthony Rizzo apparently is suffering headaches. And you guys saw it yesterday. Both Rizzo and Stanton, they need to be gone on the IL. Both Rizzo, Stanton. Well, Rizzo's already on it. I apologize. Rizzo and LeMahieu is what I meant to say. My apologies. Yeah, Rizzo and LeMahieu. Because you saw yesterday in the first game, got bases loaded, nobody out, couldn't pinch hit. It felt like that game was going to get away from us, especially when Ron Marinaccio gave up that lead. It felt like that game was going to get away from us. We were able to battle back and win it at a walk-off because of the rookie. He said, hey, Brew, is it your birthday? Yes, sir. It's the big 3-3 for me. Yes, sir. Yes. Fortunately, I have the pleasure to share the same birthday as Garrett Cole, Eric. Yes. So it is my birthday. It is the big 3-3. I will be at the stadium tomorrow with my man Keith Saunders in section 419. We will be up on top. You know, I was there last time with the Yankees versus the Mets. I will be putting that video out this weekend. Just a lot of just finding the footage to put it together. But yes, I will be up section 419, row 14 tomorrow. I will, I got to go to Monument Park. I got to do everything that you got to do at Yankee Stadium. I'm gonna be there early, like I said. I'll be at around 3 or 4 because I'm gonna get in line to get that memorabilia, that Derek Jeter memorabilia. Carlos said, "Bro, I will be there." Carlos, what's up, baby? Hit me up then, bro, if you're gonna be there. Carlos, you got me on IG, right? Carlos, find me on IG. Shoot me a DM. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna be by gate 4, right? Because the people at gate 6, they're mean, right? They're really, really mean at gate 6 at Yankee Stadium. So I'm gonna be at gate 4 where everybody's nice. Everybody had their coffee, they ate their breakfast, because the security guards that work at gate 6 are like CIA, FBI level. It is Gestapo level over there. I'm not dealing with the guys at gate 6, because the guys at gate 6, they're pretty mean. So I will be at gate 4 tomorrow. So Eric, if I mean not Eric, Carlos, if you're there, just look for me at gate 4. You'll see me. I'll probably be wearing a pink shirt on my Yankees jersey, either or. Got to thank the love of my life. Thank you so much, baby. I appreciate you. But yeah, let's talk about them Yankees, because game 1 was a thrill, right? Domingo Germán. What can we say about Domingo Germán? Guys, put the thumbs up in the chat for Domingo Germán, and let me know what you guys think about our guy Germán, because he showed up yesterday. He showed up. He had a solid, as I can say, he had a solid start. Quality inning. He gave us a quality start yesterday. Pitched 6 innings, 3 runs. You can't ask nothing more from Domingo Germán. This is the second start he has since he's come back that he has allowed 3 runs. You really can't say much. But I'm gonna start off with the Twins lineup, right? Hold on 1 second. And shout out to Gary Sanchez too for the first game of the series and that home run he hit. Jesus Christ. And like Jigga Man said, hit those likes for the birthday, bro. Absolutely. But to the Minnesota Twins, you got the American League leader when it comes to batting average, Luis Arraez, the DH. He was 2 for 5 leading it off. Carlos Correa, a future Yankee maybe, at shortstop was 1 for 6. Juan Miranda, the first baseman, was 2 for 5. Nick Gordon, the second baseman, was 2 for 5. Gio Urshela, the third baseman, was 0 for 5. Garlic in right field was 0 for 3. Jake Cave, the left fielder, who has a cannon. We'll get to that later. But he was in left field. He was 1 for 4. Gary Sanchez, the catcher, was 1 for 5. And Celestino, the center fielder, was 2 for 5. Now, when we look to the pitching side of things, the Minnesota Twins, they use 6 relievers, 7 pitchers in total, if you include the starting pitcher. But Varland, the rookie, he had his family in the building. It's his first major league start, so the adrenaline was shooting from his toes to his head. But Verland, he pitched 5 in the third. He gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Gax came in afterwards. Gax pitched 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, and a strikeout. Thyber came in afterwards. He pitched the inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. The former Baltimore Oriole, Jorge Lopez, came in. And Jorge Lopez, he pitched the inning, gave up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Duran came in for multiple innings of work. He pitched 2 innings, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Michael Fulmer, you guys remember the former Detroit Tiger, the former Metropolitan prospect. But Fulmer, he pitched the inning, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, and no strikeouts. And then McGill, who was the losing pitcher in the first game, but McGill, he pitched 2/3, 3 hits, 2 runs, no walks, a strikeout. He gave up the walk-off hit to Oswaldo Cabrera, and the Yankees took game 1. It was a solid outing. Let me see. Thumbs up. And even Cole had a great start. Word. Garrett Cole. If you guys saw, Garrett Cole went to the back of his head a few times. Not saying that's where he has his sticky substance, but he went to the back of his hair. That's where he has those luscious locks just like curling up at the end. So he could just load it up. When he got to throw his, his curveball or whatever. But yeah, who is Judge's agent? That would determine what he gets. You know what? Aaron Judge agent. Let's look that up right now. Because you make a great point. Apparently, it's somebody named Paige Odell. Free agent. He's been they have been representing Judge, it seems, since he got into the big league. So Judge has had the same representation since he's been drafted by the Yankees. So that gotta mean something. But you gotta ask yourself, right, Yankee fans? If you were Aaron Judge, and if you guys come up short this year, if you were Aaron Judge and you were eliminated in the American League Championship Series, the ALCS, are you going to sign back with the Yankees? I think that's the question to ask. Hold on one second. Because, as much as us fans, and I agree with you, James, just like Albert, I agree with you 100%. As much as us fans want Judge to come back and want Judge to sign with us and want Judge to retire a Yankee, we got to ask ourselves, does Aaron Judge want that? Does Aaron Judge, does he want to retire a Yankee? Does he want to have his number 99 retired in Yankee Stadium with the other greats? When it comes to Aaron Judge, I believe so. Just listen to his interviews when talking about the Maris record. He said, it's not important to him. It's not important, and it's very easy for us to say that, but I honestly believe that he means that. Judge is hitting over 300. He has 55 home runs, 118 RBIs. He's setting records. He broke his own season record when it comes to home runs and RBIs. His batting average, he's going to stay over 300. I think Judge prides himself in having a batting average that's over 300. But over to the Yankee side of things, the Yankees lineup, it was a bit it was a bit spring training-ish. My man Keith messaged me, was like, bro, did you see the lineup? It looks like spring training. Yes. Yeah, the game one lineup looked very close to a spring training game. Absolutely. Keith, you had Cabrera in right field leading it off, and he threw out another guy at home plate. Since Oswaldo Cabrera has come to the major leagues, since he's been in the major leagues, he is leading the American League in out for the assist. And five. He's all righty. All got to catch the bus. Have an awesome day. Eric, appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for stopping through. Thanks for wishing me those birthday wishes. Appreciate my guy. See you again. But yeah, Cabrera let it off in right field. He was 1 for 6. That one being the game-winning hit. Aaron Judge, the DH for the entire day, he was 1 for 3 with a home run. Gleyber Torres had a home run as well, and at second base, he was 1 for 4. He had a 2-run home run to tie it up in a 6th, so that was big. We need Gleyber Torres to be able to find himself. Ronald Guzman, the former Texas Ranger, he had a horrible day. He was 0 for 5. He had 4 strikeouts. He had that double play that he didn't run on. One thing about Guzman is that he could pick it at first base. That's one thing I could say. His glove, his ability at first base to pick it, it's there. But we need you to run harder down the box, man. We need you down that line. We need you to run harder. You got Miguel Andujar in left field. He was 0 for 4. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa at third base. He was 2 for 5, had a big hit. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa had a big day at third base. Maybe if you put IKF at third base, good things happen. But Estevan Florial was in center field. He was 0 for 2. Kyle Higashioka, who was later pinch hit for Jose Trevino, was 0 for 2. And the rookie, Oswald Peraza, the shortstop, was 3 for 5. The first Yankee that was born in the year 2000 to get 3 hits in a game. 4 hits in one day. So shout out to Peraza, the shortstop. He looks a lot comfortable now, so hopefully he'll catch on and he'll get hot over the next couple of weeks. But over to the pitching side of things, you got Domingo Germán. He went 6 innings, gave you 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Wandy Peralta, the ageless one, Wandy Peralta, he pitched the inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Jonathan Loizaga, Johnny Lasagna, he pitched 2/3. He gave up a hit, 1 run, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Now, Clay Holmes, this was big. Clay Holmes, he pitched 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Ron Marinaccio pitched the inning in the 3rd, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And Greg Weissert pitched 2/3 of an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. But Greg Weissert, yes, Keith, you typed it before I was able to say it, Keith. But Weissert is filthy. We're seeing him. The first appearance he had, he was horrible. We agree on that. He was horrible. But ever since then, no runs, unhittable, striking guys out left and right. This looks like the elite reliever we were going to get up, or we were calling up from the minors. That's exactly what he looks like now. He's a lot more comfortable. He got those jitters out the way when it comes to, like, having his first game in the bigs. So expect Weissert to be a big part of this bullpen, especially going forward towards the playoffs. Guys, let me know below. Put those thumbs in the comment if you guys agree with me. If you guys agree that Greg Weissert, he's going to have a big role to play. Because think of it like this. It's Thursday, September 8th, right? Yankees have been hit with injuries. You got Andrew Benintendi, right? And I was going back and forth with Michael Caputo on BX Sports Jedi, and we were both kind of wrong. Because Caputo said it's his hamate bone that he's getting removed from his hand, which is not. It's the hook bone of the hamate bone. He already had the hamate removed when he was in high school. So this is the hook bone for it. And besides that, it's the deep tissue. It's more nerves than anything else that they're going in there to touch up. But you got Andrew Benintendi, right, who hopefully could come back. Not too sure. We got Matt Carpenter, who could potentially be coming back for us. Harrison Bader, who is doing baseball activities, who we may be able to see in the next couple of weeks. Now, Yankee fans, we got to talk about this, because this is the real conversation. When it comes to Brian Cashman, are you guys willing to extend him this offseason? Because I'm 50-50 right now. At the beginning of the season, at the beginning of this show, when we first started, one thing we always love to say, one thing I always love to say was, and Brian Cashman, we trust. That was a phrase that I always used to utter. And Brian Cashman, we trust. It was so far in September, and after this last month of August, I'm not so sure if I trust the man anymore. Right? You guys saw Wisniewski made his debut with the Chicago Cubs. Pitched 5 innings. He struck out 8. Now, if you do the math, 5 times 3 is 15. So 15 of the batters that he faced, or 15 of the outs that he got, 8 of them was via the strikeout. And you guys saw Ken Waldichuk made his debut with the Oakland A's. Look filthy. JP Sayers looking filthy. And we got to show for it. Harrison Bader, who's been injured. Frankie Montas, who had his first actual great start, and it was only 5 innings. Right? It was only 5 innings, but those 5 innings were phenomenal versus the Tampa Bay Rays. So let's see what Frankie does the next time out. Because it's kind of looking like Frankie Montas may be that guy that we traded for. Maybe. He had one good start. Let's see what he does the next time out. Albert, you're a fool. Albert, you're a fool. But Albert, we don't kink shame. So if Cashman loves wearing bell bottoms, maybe he got some red bottoms on, maybe he got some blood on his toes. I'm not sure, but we don't kink shame. We don't kink shame, Albert. But what I do need Brian Cashman to do is I need you to show up this offseason. Because honestly, and I honestly believe this. Bear with me. Let me know if you guys, if you guys are with me or not. Shout out to Mikey Miles and the 4 Train Express. I just seen him show up. Shout out my guy. He said, from what I heard, he has always been extended and is coming back next season. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing as well. You know, my man Keith said, we know his worth and what he means, Levine said on the show podcast. I don't know what's in his mind. All we can do is show him how much we'll like him to remain a Yankee. That's very, how can I say this? Ugh. It's very confusing language. You know, you got to do a deep. No need to say sorry. No, Albert, no need to say sorry, bro. I'm just joking around. No need to say sorry, bro. No need to say sorry. But guys, let me know, because I have this feeling Brian Cashman's career with the Yankees is going to determine what happens this September. If he comes back or not, or if he's let go, it's all going to fall on what happens with these Yankees in September. He better pray that Frankie Montas continues what he's doing. He better pray that Harrison Bader comes up and is the next Derek Jeter, which is not going to happen. But he needs to pray Harrison Bader catches on fire and becomes the next Shane Spencer. Because I think that his tenure with the Yankees is going to come down to what this team does in September. You know, we could blame Aaron Boone just so much. I know we like to punch on Aaron Boone. He's our punching bag, just like the Minnesota Twins is the Yankees punching bag. I understand that we love to beat up on Aaron Boone. But Aaron Boone didn't assemble this team. Aaron Boone didn't go out there and trade for Josh Donaldson. Aaron Boone didn't go out there and trade for IKF. These are all Cashman moves. You know, maybe if, you know, like they said in the chat, but maybe Aaron Boone may signed off on a few of these things, gave his opinion, but at the end of the day, it was one person only that pulled the deal. And that was Cashman. It wasn't anybody else but Cashman. Like my man Ford Trade Express said, he said, who would you replace Cashman with? You got to have a suitable replacement that's going to be willing to come back and be the GM. Who would you pick? You know what, Mazda? That's a great question. That's a great question. Because one thing, you know, that the human thumb, Michael K, said was, he said that if Cashman was to be let go tomorrow, he would have 29 other teams calling him to offer him a job. Right now, I highly doubt that. He may have half of those teams calling him looking for a job. He may have those teams calling him looking for a job. But right now in September, I'm not too sure. And let's be honest, even if Cashman is let go, right? Even if Cashman is replaced, his replacement is going to be from the inside. It's going to be internal. It's going to be the same way how Brian Cashman was promoted to his position. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be somebody who is beholden to the analytics. It's going to be somebody who is beholden to Hal Steinbrenner and his spending habits. Yes, the Yankees have the third highest payroll in the league, but at the same time, the Yankees love to get that second tier talent. Oh, get that guy who's overpaid for, like a Josh Donaldson. If Josh Donaldson is the reason why the Yankees didn't sign Carlos Correa this offseason, that falls on Brian Cashman, nobody else. Because you cannot tell me that Hal Steinbrenner was okay with bringing on Josh Donaldson's contract, $25 million over the next 3 or 4 years, but didn't want to give Correa a 6 or 8 year deal, $30 million a year or $35 million a year. To me, that makes no sense. Carlos says, I trust Cashman on finding talent, but no one has put their eyes on Tommy Kahlin, Mike King, Efros, Holmes, Wandy, but I don't trust him to sign play. Carlos, you hit it right on the head, bro. You hit it right on the head. Because when it comes to finding talent, like a Kane Lee, like a Michael King, like a Scott Efros, like a Clay Holmes, like a Wandy Peralta, when it comes to those moves, Brian Cashman and his team, they knock it out of the park. When it comes to finding the Luke Voits of the world, knocks it out the park. The Gio Ursulos of the world knocks it out the park. When it comes to those acquisition, knocks it out the park every time. Brian Cashman is going to find you that diamond that's deep down, that's covered by all that coat. Brian Cashman will find that type of player for you. But what Brian Cashman hasn't done in recent history is go out there and bring in that big time talent. Besides Garrett Cole, the last time the Yankees went out there and offered somebody a contract that was a big contract was Jacoby Ellsbury. And Brian Cashman was burnt on the Jacoby Ellsbury deal. So that may be why Brian Cashman is hesitant to make those type of moves, to make those type of offers to players, because it's on Brian Cashman's resume at the end of the day. Everybody wanted that pitcher that's with the Washington Nationals that everybody was trying to unload with the Juan Soto deal. Forgot his name, but Yankee fans wanted Brian Cashman to sign him. And yes, his first year with the Nationals, they won a World Series. But ever since then, he's been utter dog doo-doo. But let's talk about the other games from yesterday, because there was one more game from yesterday. Game 2. Bring up the Twins lineup real quick. Ooh, sorry about that. But with the Twins, you got Luis Arraez, who led it off again. The DH, he was 1 for 5. Carlos Correa was 2 for 4, had that massive home run, the only run that Garrett Cole gave up yesterday, but he was 2 for 4. 2 hits off of Garrett Cole. Jose Miranda, the first baseman, he was 0 for 3. Nick Gordon kept his hitting going, kept his hitting streak going. He was 1 for 3. Gio Urshela, the third baseman, was 2 for 4. Garlick in right field was 0 for 4. Jake Cave, who threw out Marwin Gonzalez trying to score from second off of a hit by Florial, but Jake Cave in left field was 1 for 3. Celestino in center field was 0 for 4. And the former Red Sox, who always seems to just be a thorn in the Yankees, in front of the Yankees, just be a thorn in the butt of the Yankees. Sandy Leon was 1 for 3. Now you had Joe Ryan, the pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. He pitched 4 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And like John Boy said, Joe Ryan really was looking like Billy from Stranger Things out there. I had to double take a few times, like, wow, he really does look like that character from Stranger Things. But Morgan came in afterwards. He pitched 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Pagan, he pitched the inning, gave up a hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeouts. Davis was the last pitcher for the Twins. He pitched the inning, 1 hit. He gave up 3 runs, 4 walks, and 1 strikeout. The losing pitcher of record was Ryan, 3-2 on the season. And you guys saw Aaron Hicks had a big game in game 2. Let's get to it right now. Let's look at the Yankees lineup. Because you got the Yankees sending out Aaron Hicks in left field. He started the game off very well. It was a 13-pitch at bat, which was brought up Joe Ryan's pitch count. He ended the first inning with 35 pitches, I believe. But Aaron Hicks in left field, he was 1 for 5. Aaron Judge, the DH, he was 0 for 2, but he had 3 walks. No, he had 2 walks. One of them was a regular walk and then an intentional walk. Gleyber Torres, the second baseman, was 0 for 3. Oswaldo Cabrera, he had another hit. He was 1 for 4. Jose Trevino, our amigo, the catcher, was 0 for 4. The aforementioned Marwin Gonzalez at first base was 0 for 2. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the third baseman, had a grand salami. It was a bomb, a beam going down left field. But he was 1 for 3 with a grand slam. Great to see IKF. And one thing I got to point out, and this is one thing I'm upset about. Michael K. Just shut up, bro. Because you're trying to be funny. You're trying to have hot takes. Just shut up, bro. Just honestly shut up right now. Because after Isaiah Kiner-Falefa had that grand slam, everything was good. Yankee fans embraced. We're living on a high. Michael K had to come out of nowhere and say, oh, well, IKF, sensitive guy, because the Yankee fans on Twitter coming for him. Where is that? Where was that? Where was IKF being sensitive because fans were criticizing him on Twitter? Where was that? You're lying. It was his father that people send fake news articles saying that his son died. Yankee fans literally made fake news articles saying IKF died and sent it to IKF's father. And IKF's father is who came out on Twitter and talked about it, not IKF. Michael K., can you please stop lying? So as I continue, the center fielder, Estevan Florial, he was 2 for 3. The shortstop, Peraza, was 1 for 3, giving him 4 hits on a day. So we're seeing some good things from the shortstop, from the rookie. His average is around 260, 267. So we're seeing some good stuff for him. But Garrett Cole, he pitched 6 2/3, 120 pitches, gave up 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 14 strikeouts. Garrett Cole is leading the American League with 218 strikeouts right now. God, if Garrett Cole could just ride this momentum going forward, great first start in September. Let's see what happens in his second start in September. Let's see. But Lucas Licky, he got the old school save, pitched almost 3 innings, but he pitched 2 1/3, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Garrett Cole improved his record 11-7, and Lucas Licky got his second save of the season. James Cook said Correa is the reason Correa didn't sign. Okay, I can live with that. My man Albert says cash finds stars, but it's how saying yes to money. Okay, cool. You know, then we got to talk to Hal, because I had an episode a month or so back, a month and a half, I want to say, that it broke down the Yankee finances. Before the pandemic, the Yankees had 6 straight seasons of having over $600 million worth of profit from Yankee Stadium alone, or for ticket sales, or for merchandising, or for the vendors, or for Yankee Stadium alone. Not even including the TV deals, not even including the streaming deals. So the Yankees have enough money to have that payroll be closer to $300 million than what it is right now. You guys remember back in the days when George was alive, rest in peace to George, but in the early 2000s, the Yankees payroll was always number one. It was well over it was 200 million all the time, constantly. I want to say from like 2003 to 2006, 2007, constantly over 200 million. They weren't scared to spend money. Yes, you spent money on certain relievers that didn't pan out. Went out there, spent money on Steve Carsey. He got injured. Went out there and tried to see if you could get something out of Octavio Dotel. That ain't work out. You know, spent money on Kevin Brown. That ain't work out. Spent money on Pavano, Jared Wright. That ain't work out. Spent money on Kagawa. That ain't work out. So when the Yankees spend money back then, they were spending money on players that it just wasn't working out on. And I'm not sure if it's because Cashman was burnt early in his career that he's trying to reinvent the wheel. Because if you also think about it, 2009, they went on a massive spending spree. Massive. We signed Teixeira. We signed CeCe. We signed AJ Burnett. Massive spending spree. Only one championship. Now, some people are like, what do you mean only one championship? Yeah, it was just one championship the Yankees got out of that spending spree. You know, I know me personally, when the Yankees went on that spending spree, I thought the minimum was one championship. The minimum was one championship. I thought we was going to win at least 2 or 3 with CeCe and Teixeira. Nope, my man Carlos says, he said, please don't mention Pavano. I still have nightmares about that contract. Yeah, so do I, bro. And it's weird because years later, he wound up being the starting day pitcher for the Minnesota Twins against us to open up the season one time. Very weird. Very weird. But there's just some guys that they can't put the pinstripes on. And if you remember, when the Yankees did that, right? We went out there in 2004, signed Kevin Brown, traded for Javier Vasquez, and that was supposed to be what replaced Roger Clemens and Andy Pettitte. Remember that? The Yankees signing Kevin Brown and trading for Javier Vasquez was supposed to replace Roger Clemens and Andy Pettitte. That blew up in their face. Then the next offseason, they decided we're going to trade for Randy Johnson, we're going to sign Carl Pavano, and we're going to sign Jared Wright. That blew up in their face. It blew up in their face so bad, the Yankees had to have a guy named Aaron Small pitch for us and go 10-0. That 2005 was so bad, the Yankees had to go and trade with the Colorado Rockies for a young man by the name of Sean Chacon to pitch for us. There's so many Yankee players that just never panned out. So many random Yankee players as well. James Cook said, for some players, the lights are too bright in New York. Yeah, for some players, the lights are too bright in New York, but at the same time, for some players, it just gives them that extra juice. Because look what we're getting out of Jose Trevino. He's having the best year of his career. And I think the Yankees need to sell high on him this offseason. If I'm the Yankees, try to retain him. If there's an offer out there for Trevino, trade him. As much as I love him, something has to happen this offseason, because we cannot be satisfied with the way this team is, has been playing and has been put together. And I said this when Scott Braun was here, when talking to Scott, that I don't trust this team in the playoff. Let me Carlos, James, Albert, everybody who's in the chat, let me know. Mikey Mazza, do you trust this team in the playoffs? Is this a team that we can say that, if we had to, put the chips, if we had our last $5 and we need a bet in order to make it home, right? We had to catch that flight in order to get home. We're stuck in Canada. We can't get home. We lost our wallet. We lost our debit card. We have no access to any type of money. You only got $5 left. Are you going to take those last $5 to bet on the Yankees in the playoffs? Or are you going to take that $5 to get yourself something to eat? Let me know. Do you trust this team in the playoffs? Because I don't. Personally, I don't. I'm a diehard Yankee fan. I don't like to be negative. I don't like to be that negative Nancy. As much as I clown on Caputo when he does it, but I love Caputo. But what we're seeing right now, yes, we won 2 in a row, 3 in a row, if you want to say, but I do not trust this team. We have a series coming up against the Tampa Bay Rays. Check right now. I think we have one more game versus Minnesota. I'm not too sure. Yeah, we got one more game tonight versus Minnesota. Let's go for that sweep. Let's try to push that sweep. And then this weekend, we got 3 games left for Minnesota with the Tampa Bay Rays. Let's check this out. Let's look at our schedule real quick. So we got 3 games coming up with the Rays, right? Those are the last 3 games of the season we have to play against the Rays. The Yankees right now, they have a 5-game lead in the division. If the Yankees just take 2 of these games from Tampa, we got the division. Hell, you can even say if the Yankees take 1 of these games against Tampa, we got the division. Because the Yankees schedule coming up. Let's look at the Yankees schedule coming up, guys. The Yankees schedule coming up. The Yankees got 3 games against Tampa, right? We got 3 games against Tampa. We got 2 games against Boston. We got 3 games against Milwaukee, 2 games against the Pirates, 4 games against Boston, 3 games against the Blue Jays. Then we finish the season with 3 games against Baltimore and 3 games against the Texas Rangers. Now, if you was to look at the Tampa Bay's Rays schedule, their schedule is a bit tougher than us. When it comes to the Rays, they got the 3 games against us coming up. Then they got 5 straight games against the Toronto Blue Jays. They got a doubleheader in between, but they got 5 straight games against the Toronto Blue Jays. Then they got 3 games against the Texas Rangers. Then they got another 3 games against the Astros. Then they got another 1, 2, 3, 4 games against the Blue Jays. 3 games against the Guardians. And then they finished the season. Hold on. They finished the season with 3 games against Houston and 3 games against the Red Sox. So like I said, if the Yankees can take 2 of these games from Tampa over the weekend, we don't have to worry about Tampa when it comes to the division. Now, when you look at the standings in general, Toronto is 6.5 games back. So the fact that the Yankees have both Tampa and Toronto fighting each other over the next 3 weeks, it was how many? 8 games that they have to play against each other. 8 to 12 games they have to play against each other over the next few weeks. I think we're in a good spot. My man James Cook said it takes great pitching to win in the playoffs. I don't know if the Yankees have that. Neither do I. We've seen it sporadically from Garrett Cole. Frankie Montas last start was very promising. But what is Nestor Cortez going to be when he comes off the IL? What is Luis Severino going to be when he comes off the IL? I don't know. My man Carlos says he doesn't trust the Yankees in the playoffs. My man Carlos says, besides Houston and maybe Seattle, I trust them against everyone else in the AL. Yeah. Against Houston and Seattle, absolutely. Seattle has the best bullpen in all of baseball. And with Luis Castillo, if their offense can literally just squeeze 2 runs across, game's over. You got to trust Seattle because they got the pitching. They got the bullpen. They got Luis Castillo as their number 1. If their offense could just scrape together 2 or 3 runs at a time, they got something cooking. Nathan, what is good, my guy? Salute, brother. Hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. Nathan, bro, I got to ask you, my guy, because I was just talking with the guys in the chat. Do you trust the Yankees in the playoffs going forward? What's your thoughts going forward, especially when it comes to Brian Cashman? I'm going to give Brian Cashman to the end of the season, right before the playoffs, before we can sit back and really judge, right? At the beginning of the year, we was on a high horse. Yankee fans was super excited. Sorry about that. My headphones just jumped out. Yankee fans were super excited. The team was 15, had 10-game lead in the division. We was having an 80% win percentage. It was amazing. Riding a high horse. But ever since June 25th, the Yankees have been 27. No, now it's 29, 30, and 37. Ever since then. We won recently. We are on a winning streak. I understand that. And I want to have faith in this team going forward. But the same way how we were on a 5-game winning streak and we went out to the West Coast and we split a series with the A's and the LA Angels made us look stupid. I'm not trying to look stupid. But we won the last game against the Rays, right? We won the first game against Minnesota. We took both games at a doubleheader. So right now we're on a 4-game winning streak. My man Nathan says, I'm a little concerned with the injuries, but if everyone is healthy, I think they will be fine. They need other players to step up, and we saw that yesterday. Absolutely. I think the Yankees need to keep IKF at third base. I think IKF needs to be at third base. Have the rookie play shortstop, IKF at third base. It's not like Josh Donaldson is knocking the bricks out the boy. He ain't doing that. He's not. He only has 12 home runs. James Cook says, this time of year, most teams are dealing with injuries. Absolutely, 100%. And I've said this so many times, James, and I appreciate you for bringing this up. But one thing that benefited the Yankees when the Yankees were on such a high rise the first 2.5 months of the season, the Yankees for the first 2.5 months of the season were the only team in Major League Baseball not to send anybody to the IL. For anything. COVID related, anything. The Yankees were the only team for the first 2.5 months to not have at least one person on the IL for anything. And it showed. The Yankees benefited from it. At the beginning of the year, that's why people were pitching to Judge, because at the beginning of the year, everybody was hitting. Anthony Rizzo was hot to start off the season. Giancarlo Stanton at some point was batting over 300, was hot. Everybody was doing it. Everybody was contributing. They were so good, we were able to hide Joey Gallo in left field. That's how good they were. My man Nathan said, are we still good for tomorrow's show? Talking about Yankees, Somerset Patriots. Absolutely, bro. Combined no-hitter, Luis Severino. Absolutely, bro. I'll send you the link early, well, late tonight, probably early Friday morning. I'll send you the link. I make the stream like around 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning after I get all the stats from the game. But yeah, we'll set that up, Nathan. We are good for tomorrow. You can come in at 11:15. I'll message you the link to StreamYard and everything. And then tomorrow as well, guys, just so you guys know, at 12 o'clock, we will be having the open panel. So the open panel will be back tomorrow. If anybody hasn't seen the open panel, anybody's allowed to jump on the open panel as long as you're respectful to everybody else. James, if you want to come on the open panel, you're more than welcome to. Carlos, if you're more than welcome to come on to the open panel. If anybody wants to come on the open panel tomorrow, you're more than welcome to. But just remember, the open panel is at 12 o'clock. And like I said, please be respectful to everybody else that's on the panel. And before I continue, we got a special message from our guy, Aaron Judge, who's chasing Barry Bonds right now. But here's a little message from Aaron Judge. Yes, indeed. Now, let's have this conversation real quick, because he is 6 away from tying Roger Maris, 7 from passing Roger Maris. We are on September 8th, right? He is 18 away from tying Barry Bonds, 19 from passing. I know that looks like it's a lot, but just listen to this. Over the next week, if he's able to break Roger Maris's record, if he's able to hit 6 or 7 home runs over the next week, he would be 11, right? 60, 62, 11 from tying Barry Bonds, 12 from breaking the record. I know it's a far-fetched idea that Aaron Judge could get to Barry Bonds. I know that's so far-fetched, but I'm hoping he does. And I'm hoping that Giancarlo Stanton can come back and catch on fire, that DJ LeMahieu can come back and catch on fire, and that Anthony Rizzo can come back and catch on fire. Because we need Rizzo, Stanton, and LeMahieu in that lineup in order to protect Judge. When they're on and they're going for it, it's a force to be reckoned with. Because over the past few games, we've seen Judge walked how many? 10 times he's been walked? Over the past 4 games? 10 times? Yeah, Nathan. Yeah, teams are going to start walking him now. If I am Rocco Baldelli, the manager of the Minnesota Twins, I'm not letting Aaron Judge beat me. I'm sorry. As much as It's gonna suck for the game as much as it's gonna be bad for the fans. I am not allowing Aaron Judge to beat me and my team. I'm just not gonna do it. It may suck for you guys, but I'm just not going to do it. That's going to be the mindset and mentality from every manager going forward until somebody in that Yankees lineup makes them pay for walking Judge. It happened yesterday. Gleyber Torres couldn't come through. Trevino couldn't come through. So it's going to keep happening until somebody finally comes through. You gotta make these managers pay if they're walking Judge. Now, yesterday the team looked good. We scored 7 runs. Let's not get shut out tonight. Let's not go out there and have the Minnesota Twins throw a no-hitter or a perfect game against us. Let's not have that whatsoever. My man James said the Yankees have been looking a lot like the Angels lately. 1 or 2 great players and some players that's just playing out the year. This past month since June, James, you are absolutely right. Like I said, the Yankees have a record of 30-37 since June 25th. Barely 500 baseball. They're not even at 500. They've been struggling. They've probably had the worst record in baseball in the month of August. I think they did have the worst record in the month of August. It's the first time that the Yankees, they didn't win more than 10 games in a month in their franchise. Now, yesterday's win in the first game, right? Yesterday's win, it secured and it clinched us a record of over 500. So over the past 30 years, the Yankees have had 30 straight seasons of 500 baseball or better. As a Yankee fan, you got to be happy with that, right? As a Yankee fan, you got it. And I know you want to win every year. I get it. You want to win every year. You want to win a championship every year. You want the Yankees to be in a canyon of heroes every year celebrating a parade. I get it. I understand that. But over the past 30 seasons, you've had 5 championships. We've had every season over 500. We haven't had a losing season since 92. That was the last time we had a losing season. 91, I want to say 91, 90, whatever it was. But it's been 30 years. As somebody who has been heartbroken, as somebody who has been burnt, as somebody who has been tortured by the New York Knicks, every time baseball season comes around, I have a smile on my face. Why? Because I know my team's going to be competitive. I know my team is going to make the playoffs, and I know my team is going to be there at the end of the season when it comes to the records and the standings. It has, over the past 30 years, have any Yankee fan been trying to figure out who we going to get in the top 5 in the draft? Since we drafted Derek Jeter, has the Yankees had a top 10 draft pick? No. Since we drafted Derek Jeter, have the Yankees had a top 5 draft pick? No. And the draft goes on your record. It goes by your record. The way you draft, the position you have, goes on how bad your record is. And the Yankees have been consistently 15 to 30 over the past 30 years. 15 to 30. We've been drafted in 15 to 30 over the past 30 years. I understand this team has been horrible this past month when it comes to August. September is a new page. We started a new month. We've had two weeks back-to-back with 5-game winning streaks. Yes, Oakland, that hurt us. But let's get this fifth one tonight to make it 5 games in a row, and let's keep this going. Because there should be no reason why tomorrow the Yankees do not win against the Tampa Bay Rays, especially because I'm going to be in the building. Hello there. I will be in the building tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be linking up with my guy Keith Saunders and other Yankee content creators like my guy BX Bomber. But fellas, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting to that time. It's 12 o'clock. It's my birthday today, so I got a lot of celebrating to do. I will see you guys tomorrow morning on the Yankees Morning Brew. I am your guy, Project Nerd HQ, and I appreciate you all. Peace.